We'll sing O Little Town of Bethlehem next Sunday. Oh, boy, man. So the gospel lesson this morning says, about that day and hour, nobody knows, so be alert. You don't know when the time will come. You know, those words are hundreds of years old. And most people assume that they have to do with the second coming of Jesus. You know, when is Jesus coming back? What time will he come back? Exactly what is the infamous Judgment Day? I don't know about you in your life, but every day is Judgment Day. It's just the way life is. Every day, each one of us has to make decisions about our journey and those we care about, and we're accountable for those decisions, and that's Judgment Day. Think of all the decisions you have to make just to get through your journey. Your kid makes a big mistake. How do you handle it? You make a big mistake, or I do. How do we handle it? You have to decide, am I going to go through chemotherapy one more time or just let it be? Am I going to take care of my aging mother at home? Or do I have to have her live somebody else? What's best for her and for me? Do I take that job offer in Seattle, make a lot more money, but then my family is going to be hundreds of miles away? I want to say yes to this relationship. I want to come out. But I know if I say yes, a whole bunch of other people are going to say no. And there may be a judgment day at the end of time. There may be. But in the meantime, all of us got stuff that we got to decide. And so this guy's in my office, and he tells me his story, and he says, Reverend, what do I do? What does God want me to do? And I said, if you can answer that question, you can take my job, and I'll take your job. Because I don't know. You know, whatever you decide, I said, you got to listen to your spirit. You got to listen to your heart song. And if you do that, whatever you decide is going to be the right thing. And if down the road you second guess yourself, if down the road you realize that maybe your decision was not the best one, that's why there is love and kindness and forgiveness and the Lord's Supper. Because none of us know for sure. This morning I go out back with my wonder dog Harley, and I promise I won't bore you with another sunrise sermon. Because the sun was not up, but the moon was. Oh my gosh, the moon was like as bright as the sun. It kind of lit up the world. It's dark, but it's not. I could see the flags. I could read the names on the bricks. I could see my dog chasing a deer. And I realized back there under the moonlight how much about life I absolutely don't know. I don't know if I'll ever know exactly what God's will is. Sometimes God just wants us to do the very best we can. And if I knew when Jesus was going to come back, is he going to wear a suit? Is he going to be blue collar, drive a truck, be white, black, Methodist? Who knows what God will be? I have no idea how long I'm going to live or exactly when that'll be. I don't know why I'm 69 and Jack Mitchell would have only been 19. I don't know why Trinity could never get out of bed, and yet some 80-year-old lady can finish the marathon. I don't know why the whole world shares that same bright, beautiful moon, and yet somehow, some way, we can't get along and be at peace. But I do know this. We share this journey together. And you know that my theological and biblical knowledge is fragile at best, but I've learned not through books and not through going to seminary, but through the love bucket journey that all of us share. I have learned that Jesus is back. He always has been. He always will be. And every single day that we're alive on this earth is a judgment day. Every day, Jesus calls us to live with a sense of purpose, to live our journey with honor and compassion and grace. And you know that's judgment enough, because we need to be accountable. We can't blame anybody else, because we're accountable for the decisions we make. And looking at the moon this morning kind of opened my eyes. And to me, that's what religion and life and the church is all about. It's about opening our eyes to the ordinary moments and the taken for granted miracles that surround us every day. I was at Papa Joe's Friday night for a rehearsal dinner for my son-in-law's brother. And you know that Papa Joe's is the funeral luncheon capital of the world. And it was kind of fun because we all sat there saying, isn't it nice to be here for something besides a funeral luncheon? In the middle of our meal, one of the servers comes to our table. And she looks at me and she says, didn't you come here last December with a bunch of kids from your church? And I said, yes. Well, she said, that was one of the nicest groups of young people that I have ever served here. And then she kind of paused. And she said, the tip you gave us at the end of the meal, because of that tip, I was able to buy toys for my kids at Christmas. And I said, well, we're coming back in 10 days. And she said, I'm going to the main papa and put my name on the list for you guys. But you see, you never know what a person's going through. It could be a server. It could be the guy down the block raking the leaves. You never know where their journey's leading them. Just walk up and down your street some night when you can and look at the moon and look at the light inside your neighbor's window, and you wonder, I wonder how they're doing. What's their journey like? Do they live with hope and a sense of love and compassion? And then there's somebody like Trinity. 3 years at Heartland, never gets out of bed, and yet somehow, some way, we and Trinity have something in common, and it's called purpose. And we may not know what that purpose is all the time, but it's there. And hopefully, by the grace of God, along the way, we can discover what our purpose is. Amen. If you're able to, please rise for the creed. It's on page 105.